He soon discovered that outside of himself and two drunks sleeping it off in adjacent cells, the jail was empty. The snores of one of the inebriates had provided the insect noises he had first heard. Again he asked himself what had gotten him in jail. Another wave of discomfort sent a big hand to the back of his head. Gingerly, Smoked Jensen inspected the lump he found there. It was the size of a goose egg encrusted with dried blood. At least it indicated that he didn't have a hangover. Smoke then tried to focus his thoughts on the past few hours. All his efforts produced another blank. Suddenly, a door of flat iron straps banged open down the corridor from Smoke's cell. Two men entered, both with empty holsters. Obviously the jailers, Smoke reasoned. At least now he would have some answers. In the lead came a slob whose belly slopped over a wide, thick leather belt to the point of obscuring his groin. He waddled on ham-like thighs and oddly skinny, undersized calves. His face was a bloated moon with large, jiggly jowls. The lard of his cheeks all but buried his small pig eyes. He carried a ring of keys and a ladle. Behind him came a smaller man lugging a heavy kettle filled with steaming liquid. Shorter by a head than the fat one by comparison, he managed to look frail and undernourished. His protuberant buck teeth and thin pencil-line mustache above an almost lipless mouth gave him a rodent's appearance. In a giddy moment, Smoke Jensen thought the man would be more suited to be jailer in Raton, New Mexico. Their presence roused one of the drunks. "Hey, Ferdy, what you got for breakfast?" Ferdinand Ferdy Biggs worked his small, wet, red mouth and spoke in a surprisingly high, waspish tone. "Ain't gonna be any breakfast for you, Eckers. Ain't gonna have you go and puke it up, and me have to clean up the cell. Got some coffee, though, if you can call this crap coffee." "How about me, Ferdy Biggs?" whined the other boozer. "You know I don't spew up what to eat after a good drunk." "It's a waste of the county's money feeding you, Smithers. If you want something to fill your belly, suck your thumb." Smithers' face flushed, and he gripped the bars of his cell door as though he might rip them out. "Damn you, Biggs, if you didn't have these bars to protect you, I'd beat the living hell out of you." "Says you," Biggs responded. By then he and his companion had reached the neighboring cells. Biggs turned and dipped the ladle into the light brown liquid and poured a tin cup half full. "Since you gave me so much lip, you get only half a cup, Smithers." "I'm raving hungry," Smithers protested. Biggs gave him a cold, hard stare. "You want to be wearing this?" Smithers subsided, and Biggs shoved the cup through the access slot, cutting the bars above the lock case. He served Deckers next. 3 steps brought him to the cell occupied by Smoke Jensen. He paused there, his small mouth working in a habitual chewing motion. When he took in Smoke's shaky condition, Biggs produced a wide grin that revealed crooked yellow teeth. "You're gonna hang, Jensen. You killed Mr. Tucker in cold blood, and they're gonna string you up for it." Smoke nodded dumbly. Murder called for a hanging, he silently agreed. Who is Mr. Tucker? Martha Tucker sat on the old horsehide sofa in the parlor. Head bowed, hands covering her face, she sobbed out her wretchedness. Larry gone. Dead. Murdered, they had told her. She vaguely recalled hearing the name Smoke Jensen, who, the sheriff had informed her, had killed Lawrence Tucker. Only her abysmal grief kept her from now recalling who or what Smoke Jensen was. What was she going to do? What about the children? What about the ranch? Could she legally claim it? Most states, like her native Ohio, considered women mere chattel, property like a man's house, horse, or furniture. At least New Mexico was still a territory and under federal law. That might offer some hope. Martha's shoulders shook with greater violence as each pointed question came to her. For that matter,